Hello everyone. This is Josie. If you are new to my channel, welcome to Eccentric. How is your day? I am shooting this video live on Facebook and transferring it, of course, to YouTube. So I may or may not be commenting with people. So today we're going to talk about elemental manifestation. And I want to just give a couple of examples for each element. The elements are earth, fire, air, and water that I'm speaking of. Okay. Now, as an overview, what I want to do is explain why I'm doing this video. Because we talk about manifestation all the time, you know, the practical side, the spiritual side, and things like that. But for some people, you've got to be creative when you explain things, you know. You got to think outside of the box. It's always that one person that says the same thing that 8,000 other people say that finally makes it click for someone. So that's why I decided to do this particular video. And I think that elemental manifestation is still broad enough to be general, but detailed enough to use in a practical sense. Okay. Now, because I use astrology, because I use Vedic astrology, but the elements, you know, they're the same. You would need to know what element that you carry in your sun, moon, and rising. We'll just keep it there. And I have a astrology playlist to where I break down the elements and the signs. So if you know your sun, moon, and rising sign, you can just go to that astrology playlist on my YouTube channel, Josie Jackson, and you can find out what your elements are as far as your three predominant astrological signs. Okay. Now, you may have a lot of planets in a particular sign. You may have a lot of planets in a particular energy, in a particular element. You know, that's a dominant element. But we're just going to deal with the basics. Your sun, moon, and rising right now. Your sun is your personality. Your moon is the inner self, you know, the way your mind works. And your rising is the first thing people meet. Your mask, your outer expression, right? So we are going to start with the element of water. I want to talk about the element of water when it comes to manifestation. And I'll try to cover all bases. I don't even know what all the bases would be, right? So, when we're dealing with water energy, let's say you have a water sign in any of your signs. It doesn't matter which one. If you have water energy as one of your signs, you're going to want to use water in your manifestation rituals, your your physical things that you do for manifestation. You know how people write and they burn it, or they speak into their water and they drink it. So if any of your signs is a water sign, naturally it will come easy for you to manipulate energy by using water. Okay. But it's not just that. That's just a practical tool there. You also have the natural ability to match other energies that represent water. So if you're out there trying to manifest something, you want to tap into the water element of it, because water represents emotion, creativity, intuition, fluidity, you know, going with the flow, you want to tap into whatever aspect of it is that you're trying to manifest. Tap into that water part if you have a water sign, and use practical ways like, speaking into water, programming water, and other ways to manifest what it is you're trying to manifest. So say, for instance, you're trying to get a job at a bank. I'm gonna pick the hardest one possible. Where is the water at when you're trying to get a job at a bank, right? If you're trying to get a job at a bank and you're trying to use water to manifest because you have a water sign, because you have that natural ability already within you, you've got to look for the water, just like if you're in a desert, because, right off the top of your head, you're going to think, oh my God, a bank and water? There's no creativity at a bank. Who uses their intuition at a bank, right? So you got to imagine, like, if you're at a desert and you're dowsing for water, you got to find the water. If there's life there, there's water. Somebody created it, okay? So you've got to look at the creative aspects of whatever it is you're trying to do. You've got to tap into your intuition for whatever it is you're trying to do, no matter if it's actually art or something creative or not something that's obviously creative. Tap into the water part of whatever that is. You see what I mean? Good morning, Jason, and I forgot how to say cielito. Good morning. So yeah, that's how you would use the water energy to manifest and to take advantage of something that's naturally within you. Okay? That's the easy part. Look for the water if you have a water sign in whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Okay? Now, moving on to Earth. If you have an Earth sign as one of your 3 signs, no matter where it is, right? You're going to want to tap into the earth energy when you're manifesting. So in a practical ritual, as far as earth is concerned, you could probably write out your intentions and bury them and allow the earth to decompose whatever it is that your intentions were written on. So I guess you would make sure that, it could decompose. Don't write on anything. I don't know about paper. I mean, you think it comes from a tree, it should decompose just fine, right? So but if you're manifesting and you already have earth energy, you want to use practical earth type things when you're doing your manifestation rituals. And I'm talking about this stuff because we got a new moon coming up also, right? So you want to bury it, or you may want to do some other things. Google, ways that you can use earth in manifestation rituals. I'm not the expert on all of the different 1,000,000 ways you can manifest, as far as the practical rituals are concerned. Now, let's say we're going to do the opposite of water. Let's say that you are trying to own a dance studio. You're trying to manifest ownership of a dance studio. Okay? And you're an earth sign. And you're trying to find the earth. You got to look for the earth when it comes to this creative industry, right? Well, there's things that you can look for, like who's going to manage the books. People got to pay the bills. Those are earthy things. Management. If you look for those elements within what you're trying to manifest, everything else will come. But you got to tap into the earth sign and mirror that earth energy. You see what I mean? So instead of saying, I want a dance studio because I love to dance, you can say, I want a dance studio that I can contribute to and make flourish. You know what I mean? Like, have a goal, because earth signs love goals. You see what I mean? So it won't be so much about what do you call it? It won't be so much about the enjoyment when you're writing. Earth signs need to nurture and grow stuff because they're earth. So yes, of course you're going to naturally enjoy it, but when you're writing your intentions, you're going to want to mention stuff like nurturing, growing, managing, expanding, stuff that has to do with building. Okay? Match that earth energy in your manifestation. Look for the earth in that manifestation if you have a earth sign as your sun, moon, or rising. Okay? Now, of course, we're going to have multiple elements. So that just gives you multiple things, multiple options you can use. You see what I mean? I'm talking about 3 signs. Sun, moon, and rising. So you're going to at least use 3 of the 4 elements naturally and easily, because I'm trying to make this an easy process. You want to tap into what's already naturally happening instead of going for something that's not naturally occurring within you as strong. Okay? So for the fire signs, we got that classic write your intentions and burn them. Light the candle and burn it, as far as setting intentions are concerned, right? But how do we match the energy? How do we use our own natural fire energy for the fire people who have a fire sign as one of their 3 signs? How do we match that with what we're trying to manifest? Let's say we're trying to manifest a washing machine. Well, where is the fire in a washing machine? You see what I mean? Like, washing machines use a lot of water. That's the first thing you think of when you think about a washing machine, right? But you have fire energy that is naturally available and abundant in your signs, right? So here's the deal. There is fire in the washing machine, but you've got to find it. Now, a lot of us would probably think, oh, well, the fire would probably be the electricity. Well, you could see it that way, but when I think of fire coming from a washing machine, and I'm not talking about literal or in a negative way at all, I'm talking about the movement that happens within the machinery to make everything go, because fire is motivation. You see what I mean? Fire is movement. So tap into the movement of the washing machine. So when you are trying to manifest a washing machine, tap into how the washing machine actually functions. Look at the specs for the machinery. Learn how it works. And then figure out what it is that's going to support your vision best. Do you need a washing machine that spins at this amount of RPMs, or do you need a higher amount because you have a bigger family? You see what I mean? So that's how you can tap into the washing machine situation with fire energy. And of course, thinking about the color, you could go for a red washing machine if that's what you want. You know what I mean? But there's plenty of beautiful, creative ways to tap into an energy that you've already got flowing. All right. So let's think about air. Oh, air. This one's going to be fun. So when you're talking about manifesting with air energy, a lot of times you just say what you want to the universe. Hey, universe, I want a garden. Let's do the complete opposite of air. Universe, I want a huge flourishing vegetable garden. That's what you're telling the universe that you want. Okay? Air usually is writing and speaking, so you can write your affirmations down, or you can just speak them, right? Or you can just think them, or sing them, right? So that's some of the practical ways you would put those intentions out there. But how do you connect air energy to something that's so grounded and so earthy, right? Well, think about it. Plants literally give oxygen. So when you're trying to manifest this big flourishing vegetable garden, instead of just saying, hey, I want a big vegetable garden, you want to tap into the oxygen that the plants are giving out. Tap into the gratitude, because you're breathing that oxygen. You see what I mean? When you're thinking of this growing this garden, tap into the air element. Tap into the gaseous elements, the carbon, the exchange of gases. Tap into all of that. Tap into that energy. And, what it looks like is when you're saying your affirmations, you could be saying, when you do your visualization, you could visualize yourself out in your garden, breathing in that fresh, from scratch made air, right from the plants that you put in the ground. You know what I mean? That's a good way to tap into that air energy in your visualization. And making it about something other than yourself, as usual with all manifestations. Say, hey, I want a big garden, because it's not going to only, benefit me, but it's going to benefit pretty much everybody on the planet. Every plant that's alive and flourishing is going to be providing some kind of oxygen. So just take a moment and think of that, or say that. Just take a moment and think of that, or say that. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I'm trying to not answer the phone. My son's trying to call me. Anyway, tap into the air element so it can match the energy that you already have within you, if you have an air sign as one of your 3 signs. Okay? Now, things that I want to leave you with is, remember, you have a whole chart. You have a whole chart. So you may have planets that are dominant. You got to find your dominant element. I can always help you with that. Because that's where you're going to really know what energy that you need to be practically using and tapping into to create more abundance and to manifest what it is that you want in your life. So if you don't already know your dominant element, I can tell you your dominant element. That can be in the mentorship, or that can be in the you can just do a reading by donation and let me know that's what you're looking for, right? And I'll let you know what your dominant element is. You do have to have your time of birth and how you can use it to manifest, okay? So for me personally, I am fire, air, and water. So I'm going to use fire, air, and water to manifest. I'm going to tap into that energy because it's easily accessible. I'm not going to go to earth first, trying to connect with earth energy to manifest, because that's the least amount of energy, just based off of the example, that's the least amount of energy that I have available to me to use. I have an abundance. Just looking at my chart, I have an abundance of air and fire. Okay, so I'm definitely going to use air and fire more than I even use water, just because I happen to know what my dominant elements are. So the last thing that I'm going to think of using is earth energy to manifest. I'm not going to think of how to be managing and building and nurturing and growing. It is the hardest thing on the planet, but I have to I have to focus more on enjoyment and, you know, go like being what do you call it, open-minded when I'm trying to manifest. That's how it comes easier for me. So you may have some challenges if you are naturally used to being a certain way. And remember, I'm talking about Vedic astrology. Y'all know I'm a Western Capricorn, but I'm a Vedic Sagittarius. And I have already tested it out. I am definitely more successful when I'm not thinking about being responsible. So, yeah, that's how that works. So hopefully this was a, what do you call it? I can't find my words. Whenever I get distracted, I don't know how to talk. Hopefully this was a helpful video for this upcoming new moon, or any new moon, right? Or any time you want to manifest. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you soon.